Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be filming a smaller book haul. It's not small. There's at least 15 books. I think we will count at the end. I don't know how many there are, but these books I think range from like October to right before Christmas. I'm not going to be doing a haul for my Christmas books until probably about March. You probably won't see the books that I got for Christmas until March because my birthday is in March, and I just rather do a big haul for that rather than just keep doing small hauls. So there's that. These are just books leading up to Christmas. There's quite a bit, not gonna lie, there's quite a bit. I can't tell you like exact dates or exact months when I got these books because I don't remember. My memory is not, she's not there anymore. But I can guess. I can do little guesses for you. It is quite a mix of books here. There's a lot of books that I've been wanting for a while, a lot of books I've never heard of, and I was like, why not? And a lot of authors that you probably have seen before. So yeah, none of these are in any order. It's literally just how I put them on my floor. So yeah, I will show you the books, I'll read you the synopsis, and that'll be how this goes. The first book I have is a Christmas book called The Christmas Sketch by by Tony Shiloh. I actually read this. I read this on Christmas, and you will see my thoughts about that in my December wrap up. But this book, it's a novella. It's 187 pages. It says, benched with a career-ending injury, NFL wide receiver Jaleel Walker is forced to return to his hometown of Peachwood Bay, Georgia, during the holidays to heal. Despite his rocky relationship with his father, nothing shocks him more than running into Lucille Beebe Gordon. Beebe Gordon came home to Peachwood Bay 3 years ago with a divorce certificate and her daughter. When Jaleel returns for the first time in 8 years, all the memories of the past come rushing back. The connection between them is still strong, but Jaleel has no plans to stay in Peachwood Bay, and Beebe won't risk him leaving her again. As their hometown's Christmas festivities bring them together, Jaleel must decide if he's only home for the holidays or if the Christmas spirit that brought them together will last all through the year. Honestly, I love romances. I won't say that I don't like Christmas romances because I've really never read one. This was the first one that I read, but I do love a sports romance, and football is my favorite sport. So I always try to look for romances that include football because there's not very many out there. So yeah, the next two books I got sometime in October. I remember that, and they are both Stephen King books because we know I love Stephen King. I got Fairy Tale by Stephen King, which is the one I went looking for, and then You Like It Darker, which is one that I've been wanting for a very, very, very long time and just never got it. But I saw this when I saw this, and I was like, why not? You know, like, why wouldn't I do that? So Fairy Tale, I actually saw Ashlyn and Ian talk about, and I was just like, oh my gosh, that sounds good. I heard about it before, but it wasn't like super high on my list of getting or reading, and then I heard them talking about it, and I was like, why not? So it says, Charlie Reed looks like a regular high school kid, great at baseball and football, a decent student, but he carries a heavy load. His mom was killed in a hit-and-run accident when he was 7, and grief drove his dad to drink. Charlie learned how to take care of himself and his dad. When Charlie is 17, he meets a dog named Radar and her aging master, Howard Bowditch, a recluse in a big house at the top of a big hill, with a locked shed in the backyard. Sometimes strange sounds emerge from that shed. Charlie starts doing jobs for Mr. Bowditch and loses his heart to Radar. Then, when Bowditch dies, he leaves Charlie a cassette tape telling a story no one would believe. What Bowditch knows and has kept secret all his life is that inside the shed is a portal to another world. So it's very different from any other Stephen King that I've read. It's fantastical, and Stephen King doesn't really do fantastical. Besides 11/22/63 had some fantastical elements, but like, this is fantasy, so I am intrigued to see what's going on here. Then I have You Like It Darker by Stephen King. This, I don't know why I'm so intrigued by this book, but I was, and I've been wanting it for like years at this point, and I'm just like, girl, just get it, it's there, why not? So It says, "You like it darker, fine, so do I," writes Stephen King in the afterword to this magnificent new collection of 12 stories that delve into the darker part of life, both metaphorical and literal. King has for half a century been a master of the form in these stories about fate, mortality, luck, and the folds of reality where anything can happen, are as rich and riveting as his novels. Both weighty in theme and a huge pleasure to read, King writes to feel the exhilaration of leaving ordinary day-to-day life behind. And in You Like It Darker, readers will feel that the exhilaration too, again and again. Two talented bastards explore the long-hidden secrets of how the eponymous gentlemen got their skills, and Danny Coghlan's bad dream of brief, unprecedented psychic flash upends dozens of lives, Danny's most catastrophically. In Rattlesnakes, a sequel to Cujo, a grieving widower travels to Florida for respite and instead receives an unexpected inheritance with major strings attached. In The Dreamers, a tactic turned by Vietnam vet answers a job ad and learns that there are some corners of the universe best left unexplored. The Answer Man asks if prescience is good luck or bad and reminds us that a life marked by unbearable tragedy can still be meaningful. King's ability to surprise, amaze, and bring us both terror and solace remains unsurpassed. Each of these stories holds its own thrills, joys, and mysteries. Each feels iconic. You like it darker? You got it. Like, come on. That I feel like. Also, can we talk about the cover? Obsessed. Anyways, that's that. The next books are fantasy books. I actually got a lot of fantasy recently, which is not necessarily a surprise because I have been getting more into fantasy, but like this next book I'm going to show you is like real high fantasy. Like real high fantasy, and it is The Sword of Kaigan by M.L. Wong. I didn't forget his name. No, I did forget his name. I know what he looks like. He's on Instagram and he was talking about this. He's a fantasy reader. I forget his name. I feel like it started with a T. Like Troy, maybe? I don't know. But he was talking about this and I was like, I need to read it. I'm very easily influenced when it comes to books, if you can't tell. But he was talking about this and I was like, I actually feel like I need to read this book. So I got it. It says, on a mountainside at the edge of Kaiganese Empire lived the most powerful fighters in the world, warriors capable of raising the sea and wielding blades of ice. For centuries, the fighters of the Kusanagi Peninsula have held the empire's enemies at bay, earning their treacherous bit of land the name the Sword of Kaigan. Born to Kusanagi's legendary Matsuda family, 14-year-old Mamoru has always known his purpose to master his family's fighting techniques and defend his homeland. But when an outsider arrives and pulls back the curtain on Kaigan's alleged age of peace, Mamoru realizes that he might not have much time before he has to become the fighter he was bred to be. Even worse, the empire he was born to defend might stand on a foundation of lies. Mitsaki told herself that she left the passions of her youth behind when she married into the Masuda household. Determined to be a good housewife and mother, she hid away her sword along with everything from her days as a fighter in the faraway country. But with her son asking questions about the outside world, the threat of invasion looming on the horizon, and her frigid husband grating on her nerves, Misaki finds the fighter in her clawing its way back to the surface. When the winds of war reach their peninsula, will the Matsuda family have the strength to defend their empire, or will they tear each other apart before the true enemies ever reach their shores? That sounds so good. It sounds so good. Also, it seems like, well, one, it's a war story, obviously, but it also seems like there's a lot of family dynamics in this book, and I love that. I do love a book with family dynamics. So, I'm excited. It is a thick one. She's a thick one, but I think she's going to be good. We then have Kings of the Wild by Nicholas Eames. This book, never heard about this book. I have a manager at work and he enjoys reading, so we talk about books quite a lot, and he read this book, which is crazy because he only reads Brandon Sanderson. And so he read this book and he was like, you need to read this. And I'm like, he's like, it's really funny. And I'm like, he's like, just read it. I'm like, fine. So I got it, and it says Clay Cooper and his band were once the best of the best, the most feared and renowned crew of mercenaries in this side of the Heart Wild. Their glory days long past, the mercs have grown apart and grown old, fat, drunk, or a combination of the three. Then an ex-bandmate turns up at Clay's door with a plea for help, the kind of mission that only the very brave or the very stupid would sign up for. It's time to get the band back together. That doesn't really tell me much, honestly. But I trust his opinions, I guess. So I got it. And this one's also thick, but we'll see. We'll see. We're not going into a different. What would this be considered? The Testaments by Margaret Atwood. Is it a classic? Because The Handmaid's Tale is a classic, and so is this a classic, or like what genre is this? Someone tell me. But I read The Handmaid's Tale and I gave it 5 stars. It was so good. It was so good. So I got the second one, which takes place, I don't know how long. It takes place after the events of The Handmaid's Tale, like long after. So I don't really know, but I'm excited. It says the Republic of Gilead maintains its repressive grip on power, but it's beginning to rot from within. At this crucial moment, 2 young women with radically different experiences of the regime will come face to face with the legendary ruthless Aunt Lydia. But how far will each go for what she believes? I don't know. I'm excited, though. I'm very excited. I loved The Handmaid's Tale, so I'm super excited. The next 5 books are romance books. I think they're the last of the romance books that I have here, which is crazy. I didn't get many romance books this time around. Who would have thought? The first is The Neighbor Favor by Christina Forrest. I think I saw Haley Pham. I think I saw her talking about it, and she really liked it. Also, I've said it before, and I'm gonna keep saying it every time I see a black love story and black people on the cover. I love it because I like to see people like me in these romance books. So I do always try to get some romance books or books in general that feature black characters. So yeah, The Neighbor Favor by Christina Forrest. It says, shy, bookish, and admittedly awkward Lily Green has always felt inadequate compared to the rest of her accomplished family who strive for black excellence. She dreams of becoming a children's book editor, but she's been frustratingly stuck in the nonfiction division for years without a promotion in sight. Lily finds escapism in her correspondence with her favorite fantasy author, and what begins as 2 lonely people connecting over email turns into a tentative friendship and possibly something else Lily won't let herself entertain, until he ghosts her without a word. Months later, Lily is still crushed, but she's determined to get a hold of her life, starting with finding a date to her sister's wedding. And the perfect person to help her is Nick Brown, her charming, attractive new neighbor, who she feels drawn to for reasons she can't explain. I wonder why. But little does she know, Nick is an author, her favorite fantasy author. Nick, who has his reasons for using a pen name and pushing people away, soon realizes that the beautiful, quiet girl from down the hall is the same Lily he fell in love with over email months ago. Unwilling to complicate things even more between them, he agrees to set her up with someone else, though his simple favorite between 2 neighbors is anything but, not when he can't get her off his mind. I think I'm really gonna like this. Also, the flop is there, y'all. I'm really excited to read this because books, black love, romance. I mean, like, can you get any better than that? This also looks like a New York City backdrop, and I do love a book that's set in New York. I do, I can't lie. So I'm very, very excited about this book. Next, we have People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. That would have been a lie. I was about to lie, guys. I was definitely about to lie. I was gonna say this is the only Emily Henry book that I haven't read. That's not true. I haven't read Funny Story, and I think that's it. I haven't read this or Funny Story. I don't think she has any more. I don't think she does. If she does, let me know. A lot of people, I feel like this is a mixed book. A lot of people don't like this book, and I want to see if I do, because maybe I will like this one, because I personally didn't like Book Lovers and everyone loves that book. So maybe I'm just a little different, maybe I'm just a little different. So I want to read this and see how I feel about it. Yeah. It says, Poppy and Alex and Poppy, they have nothing in common. She's a wild child. He wears khakis. She has insatiable wanderlust. He prefers to stay home with a book. And somehow, ever since a fateful car share home from a college many years ago, they are the very best of friends. For most of the year, they live far apart. She's in New York City and he's in their small hometown. But every summer for a decade, they have taken one glorious week of vacation together. Until 2 years ago, when they ruined everything. They haven't spoken since. Poppy has everything she would want, but she's stuck in her own. When someone asks when she was last truly happy, she knows without a doubt that it was on that ill-fated final trip with Alex, and so she decides to convince her best friend to take one more vacation together, lay everything on the table, make it all right. Miraculously, he agrees. Now she has a week to fix everything, if only she can get around the one big truth that has always stood quietly in the middle of their seemingly perfect relationship. What could possibly go wrong? It's what everyone thinks, huh? So yeah, I'm excited about this. I think that I might actually like this, even though this has very mixed reviews. I think that I will enjoy this. It seems like a book that I would enjoy. So I guess we'll see whenever I read that. Next, we have Slapshot Surprise by Melanie Harlow. So apparently, I saw this book in Walmart when I bought 2 other books, and I thought it was so cute. Cute sprayed edges. Like, this is beautiful. And then I saw that this is a part of a series, and it's a part okay, so Melanie Harlow has a lot of books, and all of her books are connected in some way, starting from like her very first books. They're connected in some way, and I didn't know that when I bought this, and this is like new. And I'm just like, do I go back and read all these books? They're interconnected standalone, so technically like I can read this without reading the other ones, but like, do I go back and read the other ones is what I'm trying to figure out. So if anyone has read any of Melanie Harlow's books, tell me, do I need to go back and read all of them? Because they're all on Kindle Unlimited, which I didn't know before buying this, but like, tell me, do I need to go back and read all of them to like fully get it all, or can I just read this? Let me know. But it says, in my defense, I thought the plane was going to crash. That's a crazy way to start a synopsis. Otherwise, I never would have blurted out those embarrassing things to a perfect stranger. Did I mention he turned out to be a scorching hot superstar of professional hockey? But wait, there's more. When the plane lands safely, I rush off, praying I'll never have to face him again. My luck holds out for less than 24 hours when I realize he's a groomsman at the wedding I'm attending. We end up having a drink and a good laugh about my panicked confessions, and when he invites me up to his room for some no-strings-attached fun, I say yes. After all, a headboard-rattling one-night stand with a guy who knows how to put the puck in deep isn't something a bookworm like me ever thought she'd experience. Neither are those 2 little pink lines. Now what's crashing are all the plans Joe Lupo and I had for our lives separately. After all, we're totally wrong for each other. He's commitment phobic and completely focused on his career, and I want to plant my roots in a small town with someone who chooses me. Love, it's out of the question until Joe Lupo lines up his shot and aims straight for my heart. Like, that sounds so good. Like, that sounds so good. I personally love the accidental, unplanned, surprise pregnancy trope. I do. I know it's a very hated trope among the book community, but I love it. I do. I will not lie. So I saw this and I was like, so cute. I should read this. And then I figured out I was in a bit of a dilemma. So if anyone has read these books, tell me if I need to read the other ones first, because I really want to read this. We then have Make a Scene by Mimi Grace. I first saw someone talk about this, and it was Sarah. And it was in her, I think she was in New York with Destiny, and it was the time when they were meeting Rachel. Yeah, and I don't know if it was this one that she got or a different one that she got, but like, can we talk about this cover? That is beautiful. But first of all, these are the shortest things ever. So it says, faking this relationship should be a piece of cake. Retta Majors is having a bad day, but that's to be expected when your ex gets engaged to your cousin. Okay. Instead of totally freaking out, Retta decides to attend the wedding with her amazing, faithful, and handsome boyfriend. One problem: he doesn't exist. Duncan Gilmore is living his dream as a boxing gym owner. The last thing on his mind is a relationship. That's until the baker next door makes him an offer so bizarre he can't refuse. One weekend of pretending to be Retta's boyfriend should be easy. However, shared kisses and flirting start to blur the lines in their fake relationship. When their performance draws to a close, will they go their separate ways or return for an encore? Like, that's so cute. First of all, she's a baker. I love to bake. I haven't been doing it recently, but I've been a busy girl. But I do love to bake. And I think this is gonna be so cute. I think it's gonna be so cute, and I am so excited to read this. It's a part of a series. This is the first one, and then there's 2 other ones. I think it's called like Make a Match. I don't know. I only have this one though, so. Then I'm pretty sure that this is the last romance book of this haul, and that is Rereading the Rain by Ashley Dill. I actually already read this. I had the honor of reading an arc for this book, and it was a 5 stars. It was so good, so I needed to own it. And guys, let me show you. It's signed. Yes, that is her name right there, and that is my name right there. Sure is. I loved this book. We're not gonna go on a rant about it right now because I talked about this book already. It was so good, but let me read it to you. It says, exhausted and burnt out, singer-songwriter Bea Thompson needs a break and some space from her once promising career as an indie musician. Seeking refuge from the crushing pressures of the industry, she books a last-minute stay at a special childhood sanctuary, the birthplace of her most treasured friendship, Meadowbrook Ranch. She only hopes the boy she found in the hayloft all those years ago still lived there. Over the years, the lone cowboy Samuel Tag has built a name for himself as a stock contractor for the rodeo circuit. Shackled by the trauma of childhood sexual abuse, he has resigned himself to a life of solitude at Meadowbrook Ranch, working around the clock for the only family he's ever been able to count on, the horses. But one stormy night, an unexpected visitor upends his quiet life. The girl from the hayloft, his long-term pen pal, is back, covered head to toe in mud and excited to see him. After spending years pouring his heart out through letters to Bea, finally seeing her again face to face sends his heart into lockdown. Will he trust his old friend with the painful storms of his past, or will the rain prove that some souls are too far gone for love? Guys, this was super heavy hitting. Yeah, I said I'm not going to talk about the book. I'm not going to. But this does take place in Texas, and it's raining a lot, and I read this in the rain in Texas. Is that not perfect? But yeah, I would recommend this book to quite literally anyone. Check your trigger warnings, but I would recommend this to everyone in the entire world because it is so good, and this cover is beautiful. So yeah, those were the romance books, but don't worry guys, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. Guys, I lied. We do have one more romance book. We have one more, and it is Nick and Charlie by Alice Oseman. This is my Heartstopper shrine because I live and breathe Heartstopper, and I didn't have Nick and Charlie. It's like a novella, and I needed it, so I got it. Of course. It says, absent makes the heart grow fonder, right? Everyone knows that Nick and Charlie love their nearly inseparable life together, but soon Nick will be leaving for university and Charlie, a year younger, will be left behind. Everyone's asking if they're staying together, which is a stupid question, or at least that's what Nick and Charlie assume at first. As the time to say goodbye gets inevitably closer, both Nick and Charlie start to question whether their love is strong enough to survive being apart. Charlie is sure he's holding Nick back, and Nick can't tell what Charlie's thinking. Things spiral from there. Everyone knows that first loves rarely last forever. What will it take for Nick and Charlie to defy the odds? Guys, I feel like this is going to be sad, and that's going to break my heart because I am so attached to these characters, and if they cry, I cry. So, we see. We will see. I'm scared. I get scared every time I read a Heartstopper book because she really has, like, Alice really knows how to, like, make me cry. So, I get scared a little bit, not gonna lie. The next books are kind of a mosh podge. It's all over the place now, but for the most part, I have one, like, memoir coming up, and then the rest are, like, fantasy, thriller, mystery-esque books. So, yeah. First book I have is The Hawthorne Legacy by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. We know because I read it in a video. I wasn't the biggest fan of the Inheritance games, but the way that that book ended, I was like, I need to read the second one. Also, I hate a love triangle, which is another reason why I did not like the Inheritance games that much, because I felt like we focused so much on that romance, and I was like, isn't this supposed to be a mystery book? Isn't that what this is supposed to be? And I didn't really like Avery, so I'm hoping that with how the last one ended, we don't focus on her that much. We'll see though. We'll see. We probably are. I don't always get what I want, so we probably are focusing on her, but it's worth a shot. And I feel like Xander is going to be more present in this book, and Xander was my favorite in the first book. Loved Xander. So I'm hoping that maybe he is more of a main character in this book. It says, overnight, Avery Grams went from sleeping in her car to billionaire heiress. Now ensconced in a world of opulence, riddles, danger, and family secrets, Avery is on the hunt for one person who might hold the answers to all her questions, including why eccentric billionaire Tobias Hawthorne left his entire fortune to Avery, a virtual stranger, instead of to his daughters and 4 grandsons. Grayson and Jameson Hawthorne pull Avery in different directions as she works through the puzzle after puzzle. Nothing is as it seems, and it's getting harder to tell who her allies are and who will stop at nothing to see Avery out of the picture by any means necessary. So there's that. It's essentially the same synopsis as the first one. Not much really changed within the synopsis. I don't know. I'm excited. Also, I love the covers of this book. I do. This was definitely a buy because I wanted to continue the series, but for sure a cover buy as well. The next book I got was The Getaway by Lamar Giles. Like I said, I've been trying to get more books by authors of color. And this is by Lamar Giles, who is an author of color, and it is a thriller. I think it's considered a thriller. I love a thriller book. If we don't know that, now you do. I do love a thriller book, and this is a thriller book. It says, Jay is living his best life at Karloff Country, one of the world's most famous resorts. He's got his family, his crew, and an incredible after-school job at the property's main theme park. Life isn't so great for the rest of the world, but when people come here to vacation, it's to get away from all that. As things outside get worse, trouble starts seeping into Karloff. First, Jay's friend Connie and her family disappear in the middle of the night and no one will talk about it. Then, the richest and most powerful families start arriving, only they aren't leaving. Unknown to the employees, the resort has been selling shares in an end-of-the-world oasis, the best of the best at the end of the days. And in order to deliver the top-notch customer service the wealthy clientele paid for, the employees will be at their total beck and call, whether they like it or not. Yet Karloff Country didn't count on Jay and his crew and just how far they will go to find out the truth and save themselves. But what's more dangerous, the monster you know in your home or the unknown nightmare outside the walls? Like, that sounds so good. I like a resort setting. I like a vacation setting, whether it's like on an island, on a resort, at a hotel. I love a setting where you're like on vacation. I do. And this is that, but this might ruin that for me. I'm kind of scared, but I think I'm gonna like this. I really do. Also, Karen McManus has a blurb on here, and I do love One of Us is Lying. That was probably back when it was like, what grade was that? I feel like it was like 8th grade. I'm about to be, like, I am a sophomore in college right now. That was a long time ago. But I do love her books. And Barry Lyga, there was a book by Barry Lyga that I wrote. I think it was called Bang. Really enjoyed that as well. But yeah, excited. The next 2 books are also by Black authors. So excited for these as well. First one is Out There Screaming by Jordan Peele. Guys, or edited by Jordan Peele. There's a bunch of different authors in here. I have been wanting this book for so long, but this book was $20. The hardcover was $20 and the paperback was even more expensive. So I was like, for so long, I was literally like, I don't know, like, it's worth it. Like, do I need it? But after a while, I was just like, girl, get it. get it, and I got it, and I'm so excited to read it. Oh my gosh. If you don't know, me and my family really honestly love Jordan Peele. I have watched all of his movies. Get Out and Us are my favorite movies. I watch them every year. Those are like, I have movies and shows that I rewatch like every year. Get Out and Us are one of them. I absolutely will watch those at least once a year. So the fact that he has like an anthology, I'm so excited. I am so excited. So this is an anthology of black horrors. Or like black horror stories. I don't remember how many there are in here. But y'all, I'm so excited. If Jordan Peele thinks they're good, they gotta be good. It says, a cop begins seeing huge blinking eyes where the headlights of cars should be that tell him who to pull over. Two freedom riders take a bus ride that leaves them stranded on a lonely road in Alabama where several unsettling somethings await them. A young girl dives into the depths of the earth in search of the demon that killed her parents. These are just a few of the worlds of Out There Screaming, Jordan Peele's anthology of all new horror stories by black writers. Featuring an introduction by Peele and an all-star cast of black writers, Out There Screaming is a masterclass in horror, and like Peele's spine-chilling films, its stories prey on everything we think we know about our world and redefine what it means to be afraid. I'm really excited. And then I also got Ace of Spades by Farida Abike Iyamide. I feel like I butchered that, and I'm so sorry. But this has also been a book that I have been wanting to read for so long, and I just recently bought it, and I'm so excited. It says, when two Nivis Private Academy students, Devin Richards and Chiamaka Adebayo, are selected to be a part of the elite school's senior prefects, it looks like their year is off to an amazing start. After all, not only does it look great on college applications, but it officially puts them in the running for valedictorian too. Shortly after the announcement is made, though, someone who goes by Aces begins sending anonymous text messages to reveal secrets about the two of them that turn their lives upside down and threaten every aspect of their carefully planned futures. As Aces shows no signs of stopping, what seemed like a sick prank quickly turns into a dangerous game. All with the cards stacked against them, can Devin and Chiamaka stop Aces before things become incredibly deadly? That sounds so good. Like, that sounds actually so good. So, I'm excited. The next book I have is A Stolen Life by J.C. Duggard. I don't know if you guys have heard of the story of J.C. Duggard. I am super into true crime. So I have heard of her story, and so sad. It's actually really freaking sad. It says, in the summer of June of 1991, I was a normal kid. I did normal things. I had friends. I had a mother that loved me. I was just like you until the day my life was stolen. For 18 years, I was a prisoner. I was an object for someone to use and abuse. For 18 years, I was not allowed to speak my own name. I became a mother and was forced to be a sister. For 18 years, I survived an impossible situation. On August 26, 2009, I took my name back. My name is J.C. Lee Duggard. I don't think of myself as a victim. I simply survived an intolerable situation. A Stolen Life is my story, in my own words, in my own way, exactly as I remember it. Like, oh my gosh. So I love a memoir. I do. And when I saw that she had one, I think it's been published for like a long time actually at this point. Yeah, she published this in 2011, so it's been out for a long time. And I just never knew about it, but when I saw that she did have one, I immediately got it. I'm really excited to read this. This will probably be read soon actually, just because I'm just so interested. Next are all fantasy books, and I think there's like 9 here. I lied. There's 6, which is still a lot. That's still a lot. But all of these books I'm so excited about. 2 of these books were surely cover buys. Like, I bought them purely because of the cover. Well, one was purely because of the cover, and the other one was because of the cover and the author, which you will see is a problem that I have. First book I have is The Stars Are Dying by Chloe C. Penaranda. Okay, y'all see this cover? stunning. Stunning. But that's not it, guys. Are you joking? But that's not it, guys. This was at Walmart. Like, are we being serious? Because what? This is beautiful. I couldn't see this at the store and be like, no, I'm not gonna get that. No, I am gonna get that actually, and I did get that. It's one of the most beautiful books that I have, and this definitely goes on my bookshelf this way. It surely does. It's, oh my gosh, I'm obsessed, guys. I don't think you understand. Okay, but let me tell you what this is about, I guess, instead of completely gushing over this cover. It says, the brightest star needs the darkest night. Estrella is a prisoner of her own mind, the past sliding from her grasp like water, but she knows she must escape the cruel arms that hold her captive and find her clouded memories once again. This quest leads her to the Libertatum, a succession of trials hosted by the king in which 5 human lands compete for a cycle of safety from the vampires seeking blood, claiming souls, and savaging after dark. But even winning the Libertatum will not keep Estrella safe from vampires. She's made a bargain with the beautiful and deadly Knight, who stalks her dreams and haunts her waking hours. He promises to keep her safe, but she knows she cannot trust him, cannot trust his lies, even as she finds herself drawn deeper and deeper into a seductive embrace. Caught between Night and her own mysteries, Estrella must decide if winning the Libertatum for her kingdom is worth her life or of protection, and the answers to her past are really her strongest desires. I'm so excited. I've never been this excited about a fantasy book. That's probably a lie, but I'm gonna say it's true right now because that's how I feel. Like, I'm excited. I'm excited, okay. The next book was an author and cover by, and that is A Song to Drown Rivers by Anne Leong. Guys, I think I might have a problem. I own all but one of her books, and I have not read not one of them. Like, I have not read not one of them, but I own almost every single one of her books. And I think it's because I know I'm gonna love her books. Like, I know I'm gonna love her books, but I have not read any of them. That's a problem. But like, look at this cover. Beautiful, beautiful, but like, that's not it. But wait, that's not it. Oh, look at this. Beautiful. That was not what I was going to show you though. Guys. I'm obsessed with this one too. The blue and the yellow together. Perfect combination. She knew what she was doing. This is beautiful. Okay. That's not what I'm here to show you though. I'm here to read you the synopsis. It says, Zishi's beauty is seen as a blessing to the villagers of Wei. Convinced that the best fate for a girl is to marry well and support her family, when Zishi draws the attention of the famous young military advisor Fan Li, he presents her with a rare opportunity to use her beauty as a weapon, one that could topple the rival neighboring kingdom of Wu, improve the lives of her people, and avenge her sister's murderer. All she has to do is infiltrate the enemy palace as a spy, seduce their immoral king, and weaken them from the within. Trained by Fan Li in everything from the classical instruments to concealing emotion, Zishi hones her beauty into the perfect blade, but she knows Fan Li can see through every deception she masters, the attraction between them burning away any falsehoods. Once inside the enemy palace, Zishi finds herself under the hungry gaze of the king's advisors, while the king himself shows her great affection. Despite his gentleness, a brutality lurks, and Zishi knows she can never let her guard down. But the higher Zishi climbs in the Wu court, the farther she and Fan Li have to fall. And if she is unmasked as a traitor, she will bring both kingdoms down. That sounds so good. All of her books sound so good, and I don't know why I just don't read them. But, guys, like, are you joking? That sounds actually amazing. I'm excited. I'll read this next year. I'm posting this in December, so it's not really like that's so long. I'll read it. I'll tell you. I'll read that book by April of next year. Mark my words, okay? I promise. The next two books are very popular books. First two books in a very, very popular series. And there's a bit of a commitment. I don't know why I did this to myself. I don't know why I bought it, because now that I have these books, it's a bit intimidating, I'm not gonna lie. Not because of their size, but because of the series they are in. The two books that I have are The Assassin's Blade and Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. Why did I do this to myself? Why did I buy them? I'm scared, because this is such a loved series, and now I have the books, so now I have to read them, and like, oh my goodness. Okay, this is the, like, it's like a prequel to this, like, to the series. Some people read this third. I am following Destiny's orders, and I'm reading it first, because it's a prequel, so I feel like it should be read first, even though it was made after. I feel like that's just how things work. Anyway, The Assassin's Blade. Also, these covers, I actually really like the covers, and the spines are beautiful. So there's that. But The Assassin's Blade, it says, the twist of a knife, the birth of a legend. Selena Sardathian is her kingdom's most feared assassin. Though she works for the powerful Assassin's Guild and its scheming master, Arobin Hamel, she yields to no one and trusts only her fellow killer for hire, Sam. But when Arobin dispatches her on missions that take her from remote islands to hostile deserts, Selena finds herself acting independently of his wishes and questioning her own allegiance. If she hopes to escape Arobin's clutches, Selena will have to put her faith in her wits and her blade, knowing that if she fails, she'll lose not just a chance at freedom, but her life. Drama! I'm excited. Throne of Glass. This is technically the first of the series. Technically. It says, in a land without magic, an assassin is summoned to the castle. She has no love for the vicious king who rules from his throne of glass. Get it? But she has not come to kill him. She has come to win her freedom, and if she defeats 23 murderers, thieves, and warriors in a competition, she will be released from prison to serve as the king's champion. Her name is Selena Sardathian. The crown prince will provoke her, the captain of the guard will protect her, and a princess from a faraway country will befriend her. But something rotten dwells in the castle, and it's there to kill. When her competitors start dying mysteriously one by one, Selena's fight for the freedom becomes a fight for survival, and a desperate quest to root out the evil before it destroys her world. I'm actually so excited. I do think that I'm going to like Sarah J. Maas's writing. I have not read any of her books, but I do really think that I will enjoy them. So I'm excited to read this. I don't know when. I'm not going to give you a time frame for this one, but I'm very excited for whenever I do decide to jump into this very, very ambitious series. We will see. The last two books are also, one's like a retelling. It's a real interesting retelling, and then the other one is a very, very popular fantasy book that has been going around. The first, we're gonna go with the weirder book first, and that is Pride and Prejudice in Space. Okay, hear me out. I saw this book because Genesee reads, or Jency, she had this book in her haul, and she was like, it's just so interesting, like it looks so interesting, like it's mixed media, and I love a mixed media book, so I got it. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if I'm gonna like this book. Honestly, I don't think I will, but it's so bizarre, you know? It's so bizarre, and I'm just like, I want to try it, so I'm gonna try it. It says, Elizabeth Bennet lives on a small moon in the Londinium lunar system with her parents and 4 sisters, content to dream about flying a ship rather than marrying an eligible man. But when the handsome Mr. Bingley docks the Netherfield star cruiser on the neighboring estate, the Bennet sisters are thrust into the asteroid field that is the system's wider society, and Elizabeth's dreams are knocked off course. Soon Elizabeth is drawn into the orbit of Mr. Bingley's friend, the proud Fitzwilliam Darcy. a man she is determined to dislike despite his 10,000 arum per year. Will the Bennett sisters be able to navigate the perils of love in space? Will Elizabeth be able to circumvent the collision course she's on with the formidable Mr. Darcy? Featuring numerous four-color designs and illustrations that brilliantly transport Jane Austen's world into a fantastical space setting, Pride and Prejudice in Space is an exuberant twist on a treasured classic. I think it's gonna be interesting. The cover's super pretty. It is. Let me show you the mixed media and tell you why I got this book. Like, look, these are the chapter pages, which I think are really cool. Also, this smells like a textbook. Like, it literally smells like a textbook. It's actually kind of weird. Like, don't actually read this stuff if you're planning on reading this book. I will not take any blame for any spoilers that are happening right now. I will not. Like, look at all of this. Like, I feel like this is cool. But it's definitely an interesting concept, and we will see if I enjoy it. So, that is the second to last book. Our most bizarre book. The last book that I got, which I'm also very excited about. I saw someone talking about this as well. Who was it? It was Jamie Folk. I watch her YouTube channel and I love her, and she was reading this book and she gave it a 5 stars, and she said that it reminds her of Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson, and y'all know I loved that series. So we have The Will of the Many by James Islington. Guys, first of all, I love the cover. There's another cover which I think is ugly, but this one's cute, so I like it. This book is quite a size. Like, that's huge. That's huge. I say that and I literally have Under the Dome right next to me. Girl, please cut it out. So let me read you what this book is about. It says, oh my gosh, you learn new things every day. Look at that. It's a map. It's a beautiful map. It's a regular map. It says, Audi Vitae Tasse. The Canton Republic, the hierarchy, may rule the world now, but they do not know everything. I tell them my name is Vis Telemus. I tell them I was orphaned after a tragic accident 3 years ago, and that good fortune alone has led to my acceptance into their most prestigious school. I tell them that once I graduate, I will gladly join the rest of civilized society in allowing my strength, my drive, and my focus, what they call will, to be leached away and added to the power of those above me, as millions already do, as all must eventually do. I tell them that I belong, and they believe me, but the truth is that I have been sent to the academy to find answers, to solve a murder, to search for an ancient weapon, to uncover secrets that may tear the Republic apart, and that I will never, ever cede my will to the empire that executed my family. To survive, though, I will still have to rise through the academy's ranks. I will have to smile and make friends and pretend to be one of them and win, because if I cannot, then those who want to control me, who know my real name, will no longer have any use for me. And if the hierarchy finds out who I truly am, they will kill me. That is so high stakes. I love high stakes. But that is the last book of this book haul. After like seeing all those and like reading all those, I think that I may have gotten more books than I originally thought. I think I may have. Let me count. Let me count, and I will be back in just a moment. I just counted, and I have 23 books in this book haul. Honestly, not bad. Not bad at all. I thought it was going to be more. I am proud of myself. I will not be. That's not true. I have a book coming. I have Onyx Storm coming. So that will be bought. And then BK Boris, it comes out with a book in February. Taylor Jenkins Reid, I think her book comes out in the beginning of the year. Books will be bought. More books will be bought. So, all of my birthdays coming up, like, books will be bought. in the first few months of 2025, which is crazy. But this is the last book haul of 2024, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. And if you guys have read any of these books, tell me how you feel about them. Tell me if you guys like them. Don't spoil anything for me though, because that's not nice. But if you did like any of these books and I've read any of these books, and if you didn't like any of these books, tell me. Like, tell me your opinions. So yeah, that's the end of this video. If this is your first time seeing me, I promise that would be a lie. I was about to say I promise I don't buy books this much. I do. I have a problem and I'm aware of it, but I'm not going to do anything about it. But if this is your first time seeing me, I hope you enjoyed the video and hopefully you stay for a little while longer. But other than that, I will see you guys next Tuesday. Bye.